It'll be a long time before South Dakota politics quits feeling the repercussions of the nuclear blasts from my friend Nuclear Napoli, Bill Napoli. Senator, it's good to have you with us.
Thank you very, very much for that wonderful introduction. I appreciate that, but I'm not sure if I deserve that, but I appreciate that.
Bill, you and I have talked about this before, and you and I have had moments. Is there anybody you haven't had moments with? I didn't think so.
Okay.
But when you have a moment with somebody, it's with cause. It comes as a result of principle. And the South Dakota legislature needs men and women like Senator Bill Napoli, but you're not there anymore. So
no.
Is that what's happened to the Republican Party in South Dakota?
Well, in a fashion, but not just myself alone. There were many conservatives that got out the same years that I did, and we lost that solid conservative base, that honest, moral integrity that was there. We've lost that now, and we've replaced it with greed and corruption and malfeasance of office and ineptness. And I say that with all honesty. I'm not trying to overstate the obvious, but you can see that by what's happened in the last year's legislature.
Well, Bill, what are the core principles that you believe the Republican Party, and you know, there are good Republicans all over the state. I'm a Republican, you're a Republican, and we believe in the platform, but it seems like those in leadership just walk all over the platform. What principles are they violating?
Well, it's just not the leadership that's walking all over the platform. You have the mainstream Republicans that's doing the same thing, and then of course the leadership has come from the ranks of the mainstream Republicans. And it's the same thing that's happening to the Catholic Church. People are coming and joining the Catholic Church, they're coming and joining the Republican Party, and then they want to change the party to their beliefs. Not coming to the party because this is what we want to believe in. They want the party to change to what they believe in, and that's exactly what's happening to Catholic Church today. But and it's caused a real split, and that split happened when I was there, and we fought it tooth and nail, and it was inevitable that it would happen.
You know, Bill, we heard today that the chairman of the Pennington County Republican Party challenged the vice chair by saying, "You stay away from those guys. They're trouble. You're too negative," referring to the Tea Party and to, quite frankly, the Life and Liberty Group. Do you see the Tea Party and the Life and Liberty Group as being too negative?
Well, not to my way of thinking, but you've got to think like they do. That's the problem. You've got to think like they do. And if you can put yourself in their shoes, you can understand what a threat the Tea Party, the Life and Liberty, the conservative movement is to their party. And they just flat personally do not like people that do not believe in what they believe in.
So it's all right as long as we agree with them.
Absolutely.
Even when they disagree with the Republican Party principles.
Absolutely.
But if we dare to challenge them when they step aside or step away from the party principles, then that's deemed as negative rebellion.
Well, you're right. I'm sure we could find other verbiage we could use to describe it. But please bear in mind, this has been going on for some time. I was hit with that. Many of the conservatives that were there, like Eric Bogan and Jay Duenwald and Jerry Apa, many of us were hit with that very same thing. Just sit down, shut up, and we don't want to hear from you, because our beliefs were so counter to theirs, meaning the mainstream Republicans. Yeah. And as we had less and less conservatives and they had more mainstreamers, we became a non-entity. When I got out of the legislature, there wasn't over 6 or 7 conservatives left out of 35, and there couldn't have been more than 15 out of 70 in the House. We became a non-entity. But when that election happened and the Tea Party came in and did what they did, the conservative movement became a real threat, and now that's where we're at today.
Well, and you and I watched the Republican convention in South Dakota, and we saw conservatives take the day.
See, that's an anomaly, and I hate to disagree with my conservative friends, but I've gone to 5 different conventions, and the conservatives show up. The conservatives just flat show up. They're interested. They care.
So now the challenge is to get them to show up at the voting booth in November and throw some of these liberals out.
Well, that's That's the challenge, and you're going to get the ones that went to the convention. They're certainly going to be there. But every convention that I've ever been to has been a conservative convention. I've never been to one, and I've seen liberal movements at the conventions that have just been shot down because they were outnumbered by conservatives, because conservatives care. They've got a lot invested. They want to be part of the change. They want to do something right. The liberals just stayed home and said, doesn't matter. We'll do what we're going to do after the convention's over.
So
when you're not paying attention to the platform, the convention doesn't mean anything to you.
I guess that's true. Point well taken. We'll be back to talk some more with Senator Napoli, and you don't want to miss it. South Dakota needs conservative men and women to stand up and be counted. But maybe more importantly than those few who go to the legislature, we need conservatives across the state to stand up, get out of their house, go to the voting booth, and vote conservative principles. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment.